Hello everyone, what is going on? We should be live now. Okay, as usual, I'm quickly gonna grab the link, send it over in the free Telegram channel, and post it on Twitter as well. So more people can hopefully, join the live session, and we can then go through the instruments that we normally look at. Of course, again, today this is gonna be euro dollar, it's gonna be pound dollar, gold, and some of the yen cross pairs. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just gonna take a couple of minutes to share the link in our free Telegram channel. And if this is your first time on this channel, then make sure to check out the links below the stream. All right. So we've got a free Telegram channel. This is where you can find a lot of valuable information, completely risk free. And also don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. Because I'm doing at least a couple of those live sessions every single week. And not only that, but we are also posting, um, you know, uh, quite educational videos. So if you're looking to learn a strategy or something like this, or to improve your strategy, well then there are tons of videos here on this channel. In the meantime, you can let me know if there are any setups that you are currently looking at. We can check them out here on my screen as well. And obviously, if you currently have any trades, that is great. You can send them over to me. You can find my direct contact in the free Telegram. Okay. Taking way too long with this. Let me just. Here it is. Okay. Right. So that's all done. Should probably mute my phone as well. If you can guys let me know if you can hear me well, if everything is fine with the sound so I can then carry on. Now obviously we had a lot of movement not just on the majors. I was going to say the majors, but not only. And the reason for that, as you can see, we've got a really nice, strong momentum. The reason for that is obviously Trump's tariffs, okay, that were to be implemented immediately. So you can read more about this. Let me just drop the link quickly here because I'm not gonna go over all of that. But basically, this is why we've got such a massive momentum here. You can see that on the. Let me just go over the 4-hour time frame. You can clearly see that here on euro dollar. Obviously, the same reaction that we have on pound dollar. You know, we do have a little bit of movement here on the yen cross pairs as well, but there are other instruments which were really affected by you know, the this event, and it's mainly the major instruments traded against the US dollar, and that is completely normal. So anyone who's in the premium Telegram channel um, has most likely made some profit already, because we were talking about a continuation of this upside move from, you know, long before that. Even right here with this pullback, we pointed out this previous low, and then we saw, you know, we had higher highs and higher lows. So we were already expecting and position ourselves long in the market. And the next thing you see is something like this. It is obviously great when the fundamentals support your analysis, and you know, the just looking at this level right here. But anyways, it's always great when the fundamentals are in line with your technical analysis. Obviously, your trades will complete much faster and much easier as well. You don't have to stay in drawdown, or you don't have to go through a lot of volatility with, you know, with many pullbacks that make you nervous and stuff like this. It doesn't always happen, but whenever it happens, you get something like this. Imagine you're having a long trade from down here and you don't even place your take profit, for example. Because when it comes to take profits, you know, we were looking for moves above the previous highs, okay? And as you can see, we already got those breakouts as well, right? But anyways, if we're trying to find more entries within this move, we definitely have to wait for some sort of a pullback, right? So for me personally, that means currently I don't have a setup that I can share with you. But when we look at gold, that's a bit different, because we are expecting to see a continuation to the upside here as well. Now the thing is, you know, we had this massive move to the upside. We then had a pullback, price trading sideways for a bit. Okay, we had a nice rejection wave to the downside. You can clearly see that right here. Yeah, and then we break above this momentum candle. Not only that, we break above the previous high. So we now have a new high. So what I'm going to do is, on the 1 hour time frame, I'm going to mark out this massive 1 hour candle, probably like this. Okay, now I think if we close below, you know, this area down here below, pretty much below this horizontal level, that probably means we're going to see a deeper pullback, right? That's what I think, at least for now. I definitely need to see what price action does within this area though, because I can now drop down to a lower time frame and potentially look for, you know, a reversal within this area, because overall I have a bullish bias. So I am expecting that gold will continue to the upside, which means I'm mainly looking for buying opportunities. Now, where do I have a high probability to enter a long trade and essentially be right? Well, right within this area. So it's too early to look for to enter a long trade, but looking at the 5 minute time frame, I can already see that we have some sort of a market structure right here. So let's say if we manage to break above that, we can then eventually look for continuation trades, right? That would be one way to do it, right? Now, if you like to be more aggressive, obviously, if you have another one of those momentum candles that takes price above this structure, well, then you can use that as your entry point. So let's give it a bit more time, see what price does, and then we'll decide whether it's worth it to, give it a shot. Now, I do like the setup though, because obviously we've got the continuation to the upside. We then have the breakout, and now we have a pullback. I wasn't expecting that much of a pullback. Okay, I wanted to see price, reacting within the first couple of pips of this area right here. That didn't happen. We're trading a little bit lower. Now, if we have a decent reversal, this is going to be absolutely fine, because that means we're going to have a better entry level, right? And when it comes to targets, let's see if we find an entry, and then we're going to talk about targets. But obviously, we're going to be looking at targets way above this previous high right here. But anyways, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an alert right around here. Okay. And I want to see what will happen if price comes back into those minor highs that we have. So what is my alert? Well, this is the level right around 3134.60.70. So let's see how it goes. Otherwise, I'm not going to be rushing to enter any long trades. But gold is probably the only instrument where I may have a potential entry, because I'm looking at the yen cross pairs. Obviously, as long as euro dollar and pound dollar are pushing up, we're most likely going to see a continuation to the upside here. But when you're trading the yen cross pairs, you also have to look at dollar yen. All right. Now, if euro dollar and pound dollar are going to be pushing up, that probably means dollar yen will be going down, as it is doing right now. Okay. So this is kind of slowing down the move on the yen cross pairs, and that is exactly why I am not a big fan of looking for trades on the yen cross pairs right now. Okay, in fact, we have such a massive rejection up here, followed by this bearish move. I actually think we're most likely going to see another leg to the downside. Now, it doesn't mean I'm going to be looking to enter a short trade. Overall, I am bullish, so that means I'm only looking to buy. However, having this much of a rejection right here, right, and then immediately testing the previous lows around 160.20, well, that makes me think we may come a little bit lower, maybe take out this low and then reverse. So that's why at the moment I'm not looking to enter any long trades here on the yen cross pairs. And by the way, this is just my idea. So if you are looking to go long on the yen cross pairs, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to say don't do it, or I'm not trying to say open a position here, or on this other pair, whatever. I'm just sharing my thoughts. Okay, so none of what I say is a trading signal, so to speak. And obviously the same thing here with pound yen. We're pretty much trading sideways on the lower time frames, but overall, we're just coming off of this bearish massive momentum. So that puts me off. I don't want to immediately enter a buy position right here. Then we go a little higher for just a little bit, and then we have another bearish move. So we get taken out. You see? So I don't quite like this setup here on the yen cross pairs. For me, it's mainly going to be the I may have a potential entry here on the majors, but probably not during this session. So maybe later today. We'll see how it goes, but we definitely need some pullback, something to work with. Otherwise, there's no point to enter a long trade here. Where do you place your stop loss, right? So Let's give it a bit more time. I'm mainly going to be looking at gold. And you guys let me know if you are looking at any trades. I can have a look as well. So let's check out the highlights of the 25% tariffs on foreign-made automobiles. Trump suggested that NAFTA was the worst trade agreement. Nations that trade as badly will calculate total, including non-monetary barriers. Some tariffs won't be full reciprocal. 20% tariffs on imports from the European Union. 26% was from India. So it looks like those tariff plans will be ever changing, which means, you know, whenever there are any major changes in the future, this is most likely going to affect the market again. So yeah, that's why I posted the link here in the chat box. Make sure to check it out. There are some important things to have a look at. Morning, Balaji. How is it going, mate? Let's have a look at your pair, pound Canadian. This is your friend right here. See, I now have it. I now have it on my watch list. I don't usually trade this one. I don't even look at it. EU and GU long. That's perfect. So did you manage to catch any of that move that happened before that? That's amazing. Well done. Yes, so just as expected, pound Canadians continuing to the upside. But we are in an uptrend, so you can clearly see that. I think it's looking fine. maybe there are going to be some more buying opportunities here as well. However, I wouldn't be trading in between those levels right here. But anyways, yeah, when it comes to euro dollar and pound dollar, you know, I don't think I'm gonna find a decent opportunity on the lower time frames because we had such a decent move right here that I need to see a good pullback on the 1 hour time frame. This is what is going to give me a setup. But otherwise, it's going to be very difficult for me to find a good entry, something that I'm happy with. Now, the previous 15-minute candle suggests that we're probably going to see a downside continuation. However, while we are trading within this area right here, and especially around this previous structure, you know, we can easily see that reversal because it's probably going to happen with a momentum. And every time we approach this area, we have an upside move, right? And then we've got this momentum. So we are trading within the same area right now. So let's see what happens next. Kind of a slow price action so far. Would have been nice if that 30-minute candle closed as a bullish candle, but there's only about 8-9 minutes left, so I don't think we're gonna manage to reverse all of that. I do like the bullish candle before that. But it's not yet enough for me to make an entry. I'm also looking at the 1 hour time frame, and as soon as we drop into this area right here, we start seeing some rejection already. So we've got a long wick right here, and then we got an even longer rejection wick in the next candle. Now this is the 1 hour chart. If this one closes bullish, that would be a good signal. So we're now rejecting the bottom down here. Yeah, don't really like the 5 minute time frame though. It still looks bearish to me. So that's why I placed this alert up above those previous highs. Because if we manage to reverse that, well, then we're most likely going to see that continuation higher. But I'm trying not to rush with my entries. Because I am expecting that we're going to see a reversal right around current price levels, but obviously we can easily continue to the downside. So that's why I'm not going to rush with my entries. I prefer to, not get into a trade anywhere down here and get into a risky trade. But I would much rather wait for price to break above this previous structure right here. And then on the pullback, I'm going to be looking for an entry. Of course, if that happens, but this is, if that happens, then you will technically have a confirmation for, potential continuation to the upside. For now, though, we don't yet have that. We can see that price is kind of slowing down right here, but this is completely normal. As you can see, we've got a lot of previous structure that is affecting price at the moment. So let's give it a bit more time. Let's see what happens next. And by the way, I do have some people asking me how to access the free course. Now, the way to do that is to go on our website, Trendline Forex. Okay. Um, I think you can find that in the description below this video. But you go over to trendlineforex.com. You have to register, obviously, and then when you go to your profile up here, you can go to section My Courses. So when you click on My Courses, you will then have full access to our free beginners course. And also another course, by the way, which is also very important. Not a lot of people um, take it as serious, but the how to choose a forex broker. So there are 14 videos which are going to explain to you how the forex brokers work, how to make money, what is their goal, and stuff like that. And it's also going to give you um, kind of a good guide as to how to choose the right forex broker for you. All right. Obviously, if you don't know how to do it, you can always contact us. But if you want to do it by yourself, if you want to choose um, your forex broker on your own, then at least go through those videos. It's completely free, right? So you lose nothing. You just have to spend about an hour and a half to watch the course, and this is all you need to know about the brokerage industry in forex. So this is definitely going to help you a lot. And obviously, the other course, which is free, is the uh, forex course for beginners. So uh, that's about 190 minutes length, so it's a little bit longer, but it's also going to help you understand how the market works, what is a candlestick, how to calculate risk on your positions and stuff like that. So again, completely for free. All you have to do is to register on trendlineforex.com. Right, feel like I've got to say that because some people do register, but they don't know where to access the course. You have to go to your profile and then My Courses up here to the right. Right, 30-minute candle closing above the uh, previous 30-minute candle. Now, this is not enough for me, but it's a good indication that we are rejecting those levels down here. So at least for now, it looks like price is not being able to break below the lowest point of the previous candle, right? Instead of that, it is rejecting it. And so those levels right here are pushing price to the upside. Now, again, I still need to see price closing above this structure right here in order for me to start looking for buying opportunities. It doesn't even mean that as soon as we break above that, I'm gonna enter a buy position. No, I'm just saying that this is when I'm gonna start looking for entries, right? Little bit of a pullback here on euro dollar. You can see the 4-hour time frame rejecting those highs up here. Yeah, pound dollar is holding up. It's a bit stronger than euro dollar. So as you can see, this um, pullback right here. I mean, pound dollar isn't that much affected by that, but still probably have a better setup forming up here on gold. Let me drop the link for you guys. Right here. All right. Have a nice one, Balaji. No worries, mate. Anyone else on the stream? What kind of setups are you guys looking at? I know the other cross pairs. I'm talking about Euro Aussie, potentially Pound Aussie as well. We had a pretty decent move here as well. As you can see, a strong momentum taking price above the previous highs. So this is something else that we talked about in the premium channel. We were saying that we are expecting to see price continuing higher, even when we were trading down here at the lows. So some people managed to take advantage of that previous move, most likely of this one, the most recent one as well. Now I'm marking out this area because this is where we saw that momentum coming in, right? So let's see, we are now struggling to break below this area again. So it's very important to see whether price will have enough strength to push higher. Yeah, kind of a slow price action today. We're definitely going to see some movement here. I'm just not sure whether it's going to be. There's still about 15-20 minutes left to the end of the first hour of the session. So that probably means a momentum is going to come afterwards. But that's why I've got this alert right here, because even if I'm doing something else, I'm still going to be able to have a look at the screen as soon as price breaks above all that structure. If it does, of course. Now, if we see, a strong continuation to the downside, that definitely is gonna make me give up on this setup right here, and then I'm gonna have to wait for another one. But as long as we don't break below this area right here, so you can have a look at the 1 hour time frame and then mark out this big candle right here. Okay, this is where I've got my area. As long as we trade within this and then we get that reversal, this is probably going to be a valid signal. All right, now again, if we break below that and we close below this area, it's going to be a different story. But apart from gold, I really don't see anything else that looks decent at the moment. Obviously, I am expecting to see a continuation on the majors, but whoever managed to get into a long trade down here, that's great. But trying to chase price right now, and so you don't miss out on the next potential move to the upside, this is a mistake. This is not the way you should do it. And you kind of learn with time. All right, guys, we're about to release a a massive deal on three of our courses. So make sure to join the free Telegram channel. It's live now. This promotion that I'm talking about. Here is a link, by the way. So have a look um, in our free channel. You'll see what I'm talking about. So you basically get three courses at 90% off, and one of those courses is how to trade gold. All right, so actual strategies included in that course. The other one is how to read candlesticks. All right, and a lot of people think they know about candlestick patterns, but there are so many of them that there's no way you remember all of them. Okay, and obviously trend trading as well. So all of those courses you can get at 90% off as a 3 course bundle. All right, so make sure to check it out. Uh, we've never done anything like this, give you 3 courses at 90% off. It's probably the first time we do it. And you can take advantage of that offer in the next, 4 days, I believe. So you only got about 3 or 4 days to decide whether you want to go for it. But obviously, an amazing value for just a fraction of the actual price of the courses. So make sure to check it out. So let me drop a quick message on X and let people know about this deal. Alright, I'm still observing price action here on gold. Like I said, there isn't that much of a movement, but because I'm going to be ending this session in about 10 minutes, we're most likely not going to see that strong reaction that I want to see right here from this area. But I want you to keep an eye on this level. Again, the level is 3134.30, let's say roughly. So just above those 15-minute wicks right here. Okay, now if you see that reversal, you can then look for your entry model, right? Whether that's a fair value gap or an order block, whatever you like to use for your entry. First, you want to see price breaking above this structure, and then you can look for an entry to the upside. I'm going to try and find an entry. If I don't find a good entry, I'm not going to enter. It's going to be much easier because later, as price continues to the upside, at least your setup will be confirmed. So you just have to wait for the next pullback. The thing with gold though is, this is pretty much what we've seen recently. We see a strong move to the upside. We see just a little bit of a pullback, and then we have another one, and again. So anyways, you can already see the 1 hour time frame as well kind of rejecting this area, and we still got about 8 minutes left. So let's see if in those 8 minutes we're going to be able to reverse into a bullish candle right here and manage to close bullish on the 1 hour time frame. If that happens, this is going to be kind of a good signal for us. Okay, You see me trading gold all the time during those live sessions. And you can actually learn some of the strategies that I use in the course itself. The one that is currently at 90% off is literally just 20 quid, $20. That's all it is. Or you can get 3 courses for $35. I mean, we've never done a deal like this, so it's literally a no-brainer. Yep, pound dollar continues pushing up. Okay, we get a good reaction so far off of this area down here around the 3,120 level. So far, you know, price is moving as expected, but I need to see a little bit more momentum. Right? It is looking good though. Not enough yet though. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the session, it's mainly gold and nothing else that I can potentially find an entry on. I mean, those entries here on euro dollar after this pullback, it's we're still trading all the way up here, so that's why I'm not looking. Now, if we had just a bit of a, let's say this breakout right here, and then we've got this pullback, this is where I would usually look for trades, all right? But this is just after we've broken above a previous level. We do the pullback, and this is where we're looking for trades on the lower time frames. Okay. However, when we're moving at such a fast pace and we're trying to chase price and find more buying opportunities all the way up here at the highest point of the move, doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, you could get away with it a few times, but most of the time you won't. Okay, so 1 hour candle on gold is bullish, right? And it's most likely going to close like this. Now, for those of you who are trading the higher time frames, even if you enter right here, even though it looks pretty decent and you place your stop loss down here, this is still considered a risky trade. All right. So if you decide to do something like this, do not kind of use high risk on this trade. All right. A big lot size. In fact, you have to reduce your lot size, and then you can add more to your position as price is moving up. Okay. But for your first initial entry, I would suggest you use a smaller lot size. So let's see how those 1 hour candles will close, and then I'm gonna end the session. Pretty bullish on pound dollar. That probably means, yep, we are pretty bullish on pound yen as well. Euro yen doesn't look as good, um, but then gold I feel like will continue higher, right? So watch out for price action down here. That was a pretty decent reaction from this area. So all we need to see is that continuation to the upside. Will it happen? I'm not sure, but you know, this is the idea that I'm going to be following. All right, 1 hour candle closed. So maybe we're going to see something like this, and then another continuation to the upside. So I think I'm going to end the session here, guys. All right, so you know, make sure to join the free Telegram channel and take advantage of this offer. We're probably not going to do this again. It's literally 90% off, you know, of 3 courses that you get. One of them is how to trade gold. All right, very important course, very valuable course as well. And you can literally get it for $20, or you can get 3 courses for $35. Like I said, this is a no-brainer, so make sure to check out the free Telegram channel. Take advantage of this offer. It will end by the end of the week, so you only have a couple of days to decide whether you want to go for it. There are links to each course, so you can have a look at, you know, more detailed information, what is included in that course. But I know a lot of people are interested into how to trade gold, so here it is. We're giving you our full course on how to trade gold at 90% off. Right, there's literally nothing to think about. Okay, so I'm gonna end the session here. If there are any questions, you can always contact me. You know, you can find my direct contact link in the free Telegram channel. All the links that you need are below this video, below this stream. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.